Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I hope you're doing well, inshallah. So, I'm currently hiking along the River Orwell, and it's a beautiful day today. The water's looking pristine and lush, but I've come across some interesting things here. So this one behind me here, and this one here, these are gun towers, and yeah, they look a bit out of place. And they are what it says on the tin. So they're gun towers, literally, where you would go in and put your guns, defend the country. Now, what are they doing here? So if you look just behind me there, in that little gap between both sides of the land there, that is the sea, pretty much coming up to the North Sea, and that is the town of Felixstowe. And in Felixstowe, there is a massive fort that's been built called Landguard Fort. The reason Felixstowe is so heavily defended is because just a little bit that way, you get the North Sea and then you get Europe, so mainland Europe. So this proximity to mainland Europe meant during World War II, it was a key worry to defend this region. And now even, it was such a worry that even further down the river, you get these gun towers. So, it's chilly here. So the reason that estuary, this is an estuary by the way, so as I mentioned, the reason that estuaries and rivers are so well defended in the UK is because an enemy invasion would likely target this part of the UK or similar parts of the UK in the south where there are estuaries giving access to rivers. And the reason is because once an enemy gets into these areas and gets control of these areas and bypasses all these defenses, they can travel very easily inland through the river and attack key major cities that are often located down the river and get further inland into the country, whereas they wouldn't be able to if they just station their army on the beach and try to go through that way. So yeah, that's the reason why defending these areas, like the openings of rivers and estuaries, is very important. Luckily it didn't have to be used too much because there never was a invasion of the mainland UK. There was an invasion of the islands just off the coast of France that that are under UK domain, like Jersey, and that was the only part of the UK which was actually occupied by the Nazis for a period of the war. But mainland UK, nothing, apart from of course the aerial bombardment from the Nazis through their V1 and V2 bombs and their fighter planes and bombing planes. Yeah, just so you know, talking about the Nazis, there was another estuary or riverine system that they actually wanted to attack in World War II. And this is way further down the line, so they didn't even get to this point. But if they did manage to bypass this defense system and eventually go on to conquer the UK, they would have turned their sights to the US, because then if they went on to defeat the Russians, the Soviets, and they managed to achieve all their goals in the old world, they actually were, in the long run, and this is highly speculative from their side, but their plan was to eventually potentially attack the US, and they would have done that through a very similar system, because the US, despite it being the most heavily defended country in the world, even at that time, and despite it being so powerful, it does have a weakness, which is the similar thing that's going on here. It's riverine systems. The Mississippi River is one of the biggest river systems in the UK, in the entire world, and when people talk about an actual invasion of the US mainland, this is the only even potentially feasible way it could be done, which is access the entrance of the Mississippi River and then use that to get control of that, and then slowly work your way upriver to all its riverine systems and tributaries and all of that, and you can get really far into the US, because Mississippi River is like the beating heart of the US in a way. It gets very deep into the land and gives you easy access to many cities and towns along the way. So that's why throughout recent modern history, any even potential thought of invasion of the US always factored in this methodology of trying to gain access to the Mississippi River and getting control of the Mississippi River, and then moving your ships inland and your invasion inland. But yeah, the Nazis even considered it at some point, but they were so far away from that goal because they couldn't even gain access to good old Blighty. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing to come across. I'll show you guys inside what it looks like as well. So yeah, you can see just a little turret there and a nice view of the river. But yeah, it's a bit cramped, so I wouldn't want to be the guy defending this area. But yeah, I thought it was interesting to show you guys. I'm going to carry on this walk, and sometime I'll go over to, if I get some time, I'll go over to Landguard Fort and show you guys a few there as well. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time, inshallah.